I'm going to start with my focal point, and I'm going to take my little tab and put that on first. I'm just going to add a little strip of adhesive on the side that's not going to be seen, and stick my tab on just like that. And our chocolate bunny, I think he needs some more dimension, so let's add some dimensionals to him. And I'm not going to stick him down yet, and the reason I'm not is because I want him hiding in the grass. And here's our grass, and notice how these are all cut. Now you could create this with your own pair of scissors and a piece of designer paper as well, just by coming in and snipping all those little edges, but this just makes it quick and easy. And since our bunny's on dimensionals, our grass I think needs to be on dimensionals as well. So I'm just going to put 3 of those across. And I'm going to go ahead and put the grass on. I'm just lining it up across the bottom, and then I'm going to hide our bunny so he can sit down in the grass. Not hide him, you'll be able to see him. You know what I mean. Just want to snuggle him down in there a little bit so that he actually looks like he's sitting in the grass and not hovering. And then once you have that, you can go back in and make your grass a little bit more visible by fraying out those edges a little bit. Isn't that too adorable? Love that. Okay, so here's our focal point. Now let's put the rest of our elements on. I'm going to take my designer series paper, and I cut this at 4 inches so that it would go across the width and have an 1/8 of an inch border on either end. And then I think I made it 3 1/4, yes, 3 1/4 inches tall. Try to get this on as straight as I can. I think that makes all the difference in the world as to the quality of your card. And that's something that everyone can do. Just take the time and be patient. Okay, now let's add our focal point. I like to put a dimensional on each corner, that way you don't get any of your edges curling up on you. Okay. Here we go. Now, make sure he's straight. Put him on the left. The only thing that's missing now is our ribbon and the brad. Let me show you how I decided on which ribbon I was going to use. I'm going to show you the different options and then tell you why I picked the one that I did. At first, originally, I thought I would go with the celery. Pull that over here so you can see. Here's the celery. Now, the reason I did not go with the celery is because I felt like it competed too much with the grass and the bunny. And I really love the grass and I love the bunny, and I don't want to detract from them. This ribbon is just to add some extra texture and to soften up the card a bit. It doesn't need to compete with my focal point. So I decided, nope, I'm not going to do that. And I thought, well, let's see how the Bashful Blue looks. And pull a piece of that over here. Here's the Bashful Blue, and it's okay, but I didn't really care for the Bashful Blue. I felt like it made it look more like a baby card. The only reason I used the Bashful Blue in this card at all is since I was putting the grass at the bottom, I wanted him to look like he was outside, and that's why I went with the Bashful Blue, and I don't feel like it's a color that I need to pull in anywhere else in my card. What I decided to do is to go with the Pretty in Pink. Now, let me tie the Pretty in Pink, and I'll tell you why I chose the Pretty in Pink as a tie-it. I'm just going to do a knot. Maybe I'll do a video one day for you guys on tying these knots. The reason I chose the Pretty in Pink is if you notice when you look at it, it does not compete with the focal point. It blends right in with our designer series paper, yet it doesn't compete with it either. It really just gives us some nice soft texture. And that's what I was going for here. I want a balanced card. I don't want one that your eye goes crazy moving from one element to another on the card. So do you see the difference in how the pink, trim that one off, how the pink balances out the card and doesn't compete with the focal point? That's what I was going for. Now we got a couple options here. We could put it on the left, put our knot on the left, and that makes a card that's very weighted to the left, and I'm okay with that. I don't mind that, and that's actually what was in our original sketch. However, when I add my element up here where the brad is supposed to be, we're going to create a triangle for our eye to go to. So I'm going to move my knot over to the right hand side. I just feel like it helps balance out the weight because he is so heavy. He's not only heavy because he's on the left hand side, he's also heavy because he's very dark, and that's where your eye is going to go to first. So the only element that's missing now from our little card is the element of the brad, and like I said, I'm not going to use a brad. I'm going to go back to our elegant excellent, I keep calling it elegant, excellent eggs kit, and I'm going to use a clear rhinestone. Too fun. I'm going to go with the largest size, and you could use a pair of tweezers, I guess, for this. Great thing is they already have adhesive on them. Another tip for you, just design wise, is that will just really help your cards. Other than putting paper on straight, I think it's important to put your elements on straight as well, and even and balanced. So if I were to put this rhinestone brad, I'll use my scissors to point, up here toward the top, I would have less of a gap distance wise from here to here than I would from here to here, and I would like for those to be equal. So I'm going to move it down just a smidge. Now, I'm not crazy enough to get a ruler out because no one else is crazy enough to get a ruler out, but if to your eye it looks like the distance is very close to being the same, then you're good to go. Okay? So what do you think? Don't you love the chocolate bunny? I think that's too fun, and I can't wait to send these out. Well, I hope you enjoyed.